What's up YouTube? I'm back, and if you're new here, my name is Tracy and I own a small handmade business called Songbird Market Co. on Etsy where I make colorful book sleeves, bookmarks, stickers, things like that. And I'm documenting my journey after relaunching my shop back in October of 2025 after taking a 5-year hiatus. And I think it's going okay, but I'll let you be the judge. So if we go back to October of 2025, my very first video, I think I noted I had somewhere or left off somewhere at 226 sales. And since then, fast forward to March of 2026, I am now at 281 sales and 93 5-star reviews. So that's 55 sales in the last 5 months on Etsy. And as you probably already know, Etsy can be a lot of work up front with very little reward for the first few months. So we did start off kind of slow, which I think is normal if you're doing like a relaunch or a rebrand like I am, or again, if you're starting off new. So ultimately my goal is to have at least 1,000 sales by December. But of course, a lot more work needs to happen between now and then, because so far all of my sales have been driven by Etsy traffic and Etsy traffic alone. And I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing to have all your eggs in one basket. So what I have been doing for the last 2 months is, I've gotten on Instagram, I've fired up a TikTok, and I feel so old because obviously I'm so out of the loop in all the different trends and it's just overstimulating. But I'm slowly getting it. Like I know how to post a 10-second reel. And I apologize to anybody I've been spamming in YouTube Shorts. That's just me simply experimenting. So yeah, when you are at the mercy of an algorithm, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, or even YouTube Shorts, unfortunately, anytime I post a video, it's still getting to know me and what I do and where to show that video. But the name of the game is consistency, right? Going back to long-term goals, ultimately my plan is to eventually move off Etsy and get into my own website on like Shopify or something. And I think the basic starter plan on Shopify is somewhere like $30 a month. So this move absolutely has to make sense. I have to build a following. I have to make sure I have all my collections, whether it be for summer, fall, winter, that all has to be planned out in advance, and I have to figure out how to hype people up for that. So $30 a month on Shopify is a little bit scary if I make that move right now, because even if I don't sell anything, they're still going to deduct $30 from my business account every month. Whereas with Etsy right now, I'm playing it safe because anytime I sell something, the fees come directly out of the sale. So I gotta be patient, I just gotta stick it out and continue seeing what works. And speaking of collections, I actually did just release like a micro collection, if you will, on Etsy. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check that out. So I have 3 new bookmarks, one being Take It Slow, another being Just One More Chapter. And actually I have them in front of me. You can see those 2 right here. You can see I have a cute bunny sitting on a quilted blanket, the Just One More Chapter bookmark, and you can see all these like cute little flowers. And then my other one, this is just serving as a gentle reminder that we should all start to slow down. So it's got a tea kettle, a snail, a cup of coffee, some blueberry muffins, and things like that. I don't want to go too close because I need a manicure like really bad. My nails are disgusting right now. And another thing that I started getting into was making my own stationery using my Cricut, which honestly has been kind of painful because it takes way too long if you don't have an industrial grade cutter. So I have this cute book review log. It's 25 pages per pad. And basically you would fill that out. There's a place for you to doodle your favorite character, of course, where you want to leave your mini book review. And this would be a great gift for like friends in book clubs, or maybe even yourself if you want to remember like what you just read and be able to look back and reminisce like, oh yeah, that was a great book. I remember when that happened. I always have problems remembering what my books were about. And another new thing is I did a bit of a mini rebrand. So I actually have a mascot that I drew myself for my branding, and it's a cute purple songbird sitting on a moon, and I think it fits my brand perfectly. And speaking of songbird, I also have this new logo. And I actually made up that font myself, believe it or not. And then finally, I have 3 new book sleeve designs. I have a cottagecore fabric book sleeve design. This one doesn't have a zipper or a tie enclosure. This is just literally a book sleeve where you can put your book and sleeve it in and out. Did I say that right? I thought it was really cute. You have a hand-drawn bunny, you have some chickens, And then I also started getting more into the personalization space because I'm noticing customers on Etsy love personalization. I get messages quite a bit asking if I could, add a name or change some wording on a thing. So I came up with this new book sleeve design where I add a keychain, and you could see there, it's beaded, and it currently has my own name because this is just the floor model. But there's definitely a box when you check out where you could add someone's name or even your own. That's pretty cool, and this one's super cute. It has dainty bows. It's pink. I don't know if you could tell in the camera. And it also has a blue gingham interior along with tie enclosure. And it's diamond quilted, so it has like a vintage feel to it. Then lastly, I thought this print was really fun. I sourced this fabric locally. It's so cute. You can see there's like tropical monkeys, there's like a dragonfly, some birds. This one also has a personalized zipper pull, although I don't know where it went, but it was on there at some point. And of course, neon green interior. I don't know if you could tell, but I just love color. I love things to be bold and vibrant and fun. Think about it. I mean, if you're driving in a car, and this isn't my quote, by the way, I actually stole this from somebody else, but if you're driving in a car and you pass a pasture of regular looking cows, are you gonna look? Probably not. But what if the cows were purple? Then you're probably gonna look, right? So I'm trying to be the purple cow on Etsy. All right, so I currently have one order sitting in my queue. It's actually one of my best-selling book sleeves, and I think a little bit later you'll see why. It's really relatable actually, but I already got a head start last night, so I already did the measuring of the fabric. I cut the fabric and I quilted both panels. So today you're just gonna see me assembling it and then dropping it off at the post office. So without further ado, let's get into that. Okay, if you ask me what the hardest part about sewing is, it's definitely sewing over zippers. And I've probably sewn over about 50 zippers now, and I am still hesitant sometimes because I have to take my foot off the pedal and I have to hand crank it because I don't want to run the risk of breaking my needle for like the 10th time. So we're just gonna go really slow for this part. All right, so all that's left to do is we're gonna cut off some of the bulk here at the corners. So when I turn it inside out, we get some sharp corners. And then we're gonna flip this inside out just to make sure everything is where it needs to be before I actually do the iron on. This part's really exciting. All right, so I like to reach my hand in, push out those corners without doing it too hard because you want to blow out your stitches. All right, let's do this side. Before I actually sew the lining shut, I just like to make sure the zipper looks good because, like I said, the zipper is definitely the hardest part. I'm still learning to master that. And then I also do a test where I make sure this actually fits a standard size book. All right, so far so good. Let's get a book. Here's a standard size paperback. Let's make sure that goes in. Whoa, that made me nervous. We're good. That is perfect. It zips shut. Now we're just gonna close up this hole in the lining and then we can move on to ironing on the actual design. It's funny, there was actually an instance where on one order that I shipped out, I actually forgot to close the hole. And they did reach out to me and I had to make a brand new book sleeve because it was just cheaper to send rather than have them send that back and then resend. And now my husband always makes fun of me. Every time I go to the post office with a book sleeve, he's like, "Did you sew the hole?" All right, so a couple prep items. First off, you wanna start off with clean hands anytime you're working with lighter fabrics and ironing on decals. I don't want any oils or dirt to transfer onto the fabric as I'm handling it. And then second of all, my iron is on and I got rid of all the water in it. So while that's heating up, I'm just gonna go ahead and start prepping the actual book sleeve for transfer. And I'm gonna do that by lint rolling it. And I'm lint rolling it because I want to take off all the hair that I can't see or even, any thread that might be on it. Because once you transfer your decal onto this and there's hair underneath, it's gonna come through. Trust me, I know from experience. I had to redo an entire book sleeve because of it. I'm just gonna lint roll this real good. Make sure I still know where the front is based on the zipper direction. I'm just gonna do a press. All right, so the moment you've probably been waiting for, this is the actual design. It's still on my Cricut mat, so I just have to remove it, but I hope you can see it. Without burning myself on the iron, I'm just gonna gently peel this off. Okay, look how good this came out, y'all. It came out absolutely perfect. I also have my new sewing label there on the inside. I'm obsessed. So the only thing I need to do is do another lint roll and then I need to wake up my baby, give him a bottle and package it up and head to the post office. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy content like this, go ahead and hit the like or subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.